Nadu cover story. This week we are taking a look at the enigma that is J.Jayalalithaa. For it is quite obvious that the court of Tamil Nadu has shifted from Pose Garden to the room at Apollo Hospital where the Chief Minister is lying battling an illness. At no time is the power of Jayalalithaa Jayaram, the powerful matriarch of Madras, more on display than when she lies far away from public gaze, fighting a solitary battle in a hospital bed. Only she is not alone, judging by the crowds gathered outside the hospital, where she lies fighting a valiant battle.
Yeah, we are in large numbers because we are all of children. She is for us always. She has done so much of good things. Any hungry stomach, she has given food for us. She never sees any caste to need. All castes are children. So all our prayers are for her. She's our life. She's everything for us. Without her, we can't do anything. Though we are different castes, but all are one for her.
The governor has allocated the portfolios held by Jayalalithaa to her trusted aide, Priya Sahgal, while she undergoes treatment for lung infection. She, of course, continues to be Chief Minister, unchallenged, with the hospital hopeful of a speedy recovery. It does seem as if the Jayalalithaa court has shifted from Pose Garden to Apollo Hospital. As the entire Tamil Nadu prays for a speedy recovery, even leaders from the national capital have called on her.
So still the national level also, she has got how many MPs? 37 MPs now. Very powerful. Because the central government has to, the ruling party, maybe NDA or UPA, if they are power, they have to depend on her for support. I think she is looked up with awe.
During the state elections earlier this year in May, then sitting Chief Minister Jayalalithaa swept back to power for a second consecutive term, beating a 30-year-old anti-incumbency in the state. And a few months later, her power is as hypnotic as ever. Such is her legacy that the old and the young, women and men, all come from far to keep vigil outside her hospital room, praying for her, remembering her only as the bountiful mother without whom they feel orphaned. Some even performed Abhishekan to printouts of her posters.
தூக்கி போட்டுட்டு அம்மாக்கு 89ல இருந்து நாங்க வர்க் பண்ணிருக்கோம் நாங்க அம்மா வேணும் எங்க அம்மா நல்லா இருக்கணும் நாடு செழிப்பா இருக்கணும் எங்க அம்மா வந்து நாடு செழிப்பா இருக்கணும் அதான் வரணும் எங்க அம்மா நல்லா வரணும் எங்க தொழிலுக்கு நல்லா.
It was a display befitting a queen. Rumors of Jayalalitha's declining health have been doing rounds for over a year now, even engulfing the recent assembly campaign when she made a late appearance in the campaign field. Such rumors have not been welcomed at Pose Garden, where she holds court over the rest of Tamil Nadu. Her allure is unparalleled. Even her rival, the aging M. Karunanidhi, doesn't run as disciplined a court as hers at Pose Garden.
She's doing very well. The treatment is going on very well. Very soon she'll be back home. She's very healthy. Some social medias are writing all rumors, that's all. It's nothing to worry about our Honorable Chief Minister.
It would be hard to imagine an AIDMK without its Amma. Her rule is that of an iron fist in a velvet glove. There is no line of succession. Her number 2, the AIDMK General Secretary Paneer Selvam, is at best a glorified rubber stamp. Even when he warmed the Chief Minister's chair when Jayalalithaa went behind bars in a disproportionate assets case in September 2014, it was clear that he was getting his orders straight from his imprisoned mentor.
If you see Tamil Nadu political situation, it is more based on personalities, not on policies. And AIDMK was nurtured by one of the most charismatic leaders of Tamil Nadu, M.G. Ramachandran, and he has a firm hold, and he was the mentor of Jayalalithaa, and she followed the tradition. So others are, they used to say in the party, others are zero, and she is the number. So the zeros get power because of the number. That's it.
One thing for sure, Amma's style is very distinctive and certainly very regal. The AIADMK cadres have a special two-tier stage set up. The first tier is for her and the second for the candidates. No one is allowed to share the stage with the supreme leader.
Well, she made an exception. I was there when she came campaigning for me in Madurai in 1998. I was told by the ADMK that the rule is that when she comes on the stage, the candidate stands up with his hand folded and he will not sit, and no one else will be on the stage but for the candidate herself. I said, what rubbish. And so when I went to the stage, all the chairs except one were removed. And so I asked my party workers, the Janata Party workers, to bring me 2 chairs, one for myself, one for our state president, Ms. Chandralekha. And we both sat down, and she came on the stage. She looked at me. She didn't like Chandralekha because they knew each other from the past, but she greeted me and then went to speak, and she spoke very eloquently. And afterwards, all the party workers went to her and said that, you know, what is this arrogance already? I mean, he's not even been elected, and the man sits while you are standing and speaking. By the way, all the Chidambaram and Manishankar all used to do that, stand like this while she was speaking. And she said, no, he is a national leader, so, you know, you can't expect the same thing.
In fact, she has been saying often, I don't encourage anybody falling at my feet. And they do it on their own. I don't prevent them, that's all. That's what she has been saying. But you must understand, maybe psychologically, she wants to show that she is a supreme leader. And others, that's a legacy she got from her mentor, M.G. Ramachandran. M.G. Ramachandran also treated them like that. She had a very, I must say, she has been a very good fighter.
Both the Dravidian parties have allied with the national parties time and again, but it seems as if Karunanidhi is the more pragmatic of the two. Or perhaps he has a greater need of a crutch from the centre. For more than a decade, he has been part of both the Vajpayee-led NDA and the Sonia Manmohan-led UP at the centre, with his men grabbing cash-rich economic portfolios, earning the sobriquet of ATM ministers in Lutyens Delhi. Jayalalithaa, however, has been more of a loner, displaying the same brand of imperious politics at the national level as she does at the state.
You have to understand the experience she has been through the cinema world, and she is very sensitive to insults and imagined insults and misconstrued insults. So therefore, it's very difficult for her to fight, not to fight with someone whom she has a coalition in which she has almost an equal position with that person. People who bow and scrape before her, she has no difficulty. But therefore, to be a part of a coalition which is broad-based, in which there are many equals, it's very difficult for her to function, because this she has a chip on the shoulders, they say, about her past experiences in the cinema world, and therefore she takes offense very quickly.
So Jayalalithaa understands any alliance with any national party would mean conceding few seats. Now Jayalalithaa is not in a position to do this either in the case of a parliamentary election or in the state assembly election, because her whole clout, her whole politics depends on number of seats she has in Lok Sabha or in the state assembly.
Most recall the Vajpayee government in 1998, which toppled after Jayalalithaa withdrew support just a year later in 1999.
To the President, communicating the decision of the AIADMK to withdraw its support to the government headed by Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee with immediate effect.
The ostensible reason for withdrawing from the coalition was the sacking of the then Naval Chief Vishnu Bhagwat by the then Defence Minister George Fernandes. Jayalalithaa wanted Bhagwat reinstated and Fernandes to resign. But the real reason was that Vajpayee refused to dismiss the then DMK-led government in Tamil Nadu. And so Subramanian Swamy, who was at that time close to Jayalalithaa and also nursed a grudge against Vajpayee for not making him a cabinet minister, organized the famous tea party with Congress chief Sonia Gandhi in Delhi's Ashoka Hotel and got the two ladies to work together against the Vajpayee-led government.
When Karunanidhi's government had jailed her, you see, on corruption charges, so she had gone to the prison and stayed there for 21 days, and so she couldn't forget that, and so somehow her main motive was to bring the government down, and was asking Vajpayee to dismiss the government under Section 356, which Vajpayee didn't want to do because it was an elected government. So, she brought the Vajpayee government down. So, it was her own fault, and she was a bit immature those days. Now she is very seasoned and matured, and she knows the tricks of the trade, and she is a statesman now.
Well, I think from day one she was wanting to pull down the government. The government got its collective majority of the coalition on around the 15th or 16th of March. And then she had a bill of, she was the largest constituent after the BJP. First time she asked me, bring down this government, let's bring down this government, was I think 31st July of the same year. He came to power in March and 31st. She said he should not unfurl the flag in Red Fort. So I told her that, you know, if you do it in such a short period of the government, then it will all bounce on us. And you've got to form an alternative government. We have no alternative government. Bringing down is easy, but how do you bring down the alternative government? So she used to, every month, once she used to ask me. Finally, in March, first week of 1999, she said, I've had enough. I've been scraping the bottom of the barrel. Her exact phrase was, she's very good. I mean, she's convent educated, so all her phraseology is typically Anglo-Saxon. She said, I have been scraping the bottom of the barrel, no more. You have to promise now to bring it down.
The bonhomie with Sonia did not last long. In fact, it could be argued that of all the political leaders she has a cordial equation with is the current Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The two interacted often when they were chief ministers. According to one Lutyens Delhi rumour, sometime back when Jayalalithaa was apprehensive that her cook was trying to poison her, the then CM of Gujarat, Narendra Modi, sent his cook over to Tamil Nadu.
That time he had been re-elected to Gujarat chief ministership. He invited her, and when he went to Gujarat, from Gujarat to Chennai, he called on her at her residence.
Jayalalithaa has also been battling the courts and in September 2014 served a jail term on a disproportionate assets case filed ironically by her on-again, off-again friend Subramaniam Swamy. It was a legal battle that lasted over 18 years when she was accused of amassing wealth amounting to over $10 million. In 1996 too, she served a month behind bars during a time when Karunanidhi was the chief minister. The charge then was that she had siphoned off property that belonged to the state-operated Tansi agency. However, she soon had a revenge with her old rival. In a scene straight from a Tamil potboiler, when she became chief minister, she had the state police rouse Karunanidhi from his sleep one early morning and arrest him publicly on charges of corruption.
No, in this I have more sympathy for Jayalalithaa than Karunanidhi. Karunanidhi is a very crude, crass person. And she was a very sensitive girl. She was top of the class, and she was forced by her mother to go into cinema. And there she was brutalized, and these people were part of that, and she has not forgotten it. When I was in, I mean, mine is a cyclic friendship with her, sometimes very good and sometimes very bad. And those times it's very good, she quite tells me of her experiences. They're quite horrible. And I personally know Karunanidhi is about the crudest of politicians I've come across.
Well, that, for example, when I go to the slums, I used to talk to the people there, the women especially, they say, I said, they don't care about the corruption charges against her. So what? That's what they ask. One woman asked me, she has already been punished. She was in jail for 20 days or 25 days. Why should you punish her again? So that is now people love her. I must say, after MGR, she is the most charismatic or most popular leader of South India, in spite of the several corruption charges she faced.
Jayalalithaa has always had a colourful and extravagant life. Tales of her extravaganza abound, especially one story which claims that during a raid on her premises, the police discovered more than 10,000 saris and 750 pairs of shoes. And then there is also the gala wedding that she hosted for her friend, colleague and confidant, Shashikala's nephew. However, routed in the election that followed after, she made a vow. She would no longer wear the silk saris and heavy jewellery that so alienated her from the people. Well, we're going to take a quick break, but after the break, we're going to take a look at some of Jayalalitha's earlier struggles, her days as an actress, and the earlier days when she joined the AIADMK. For her story is really one of grit and glory, so stay with us. Welcome back to Cover Story. Currently, Jayalalithaa is battling an illness at the Apollo Hospital. But as you can see from her life story, battle is something that this lady is all too familiar with. Jayalalithaa Jairam may be Tamil Nadu's most famous face today. But interestingly, she was not born there in Tamil Nadu, but in neighbouring Mysore. And moreover, in a state known for its Dravidian politics, she is a Brahmin. However, Tamil politics is known for its theatrics, and Jayalalithaa, it seems, was born to own this stage. She was 2 years old in 1950 when her father died, and her mother went to Chennai to try her hand in the local cinema under the star name of Sandhya. Later, she was soon nudging little Jayalalithaa towards the stage, even while the young girl was studying at the Presentation Church Park Convent in the city. A brilliant student, Jayalalithaa won a government scholarship and a Gold State Award for topping the 10th standard across the state.
She acted in 28 films with M.G. Ramachandran. She was, in those days, Tamil film world, the ladies, the actresses were not educated. And even men were not educated. M.G. Ramachandran himself, though in spite of his popularity, I don't think he was an educated person as much as you expect one these days. You know, many of the actors are educated. So when MGR enters the studio, everybody would stand up. They would not sit in front of him. So much of awe and respect he inspired among the fellow actors and the workers. And here was a girl who is hardly 15 to 16 years. And this girl would not stand up. She would be sitting. Then afterwards, once her shot is over in the film, she will not indulge in any other talk. She will go to a corner, sit on a chair and read an English book. Now here is a beautiful girl, young girl, seems to be very educated. She was convent educated, speaks flawless, good, fluent English. And here is a girl who reads English books. And here is a girl who looks much more intelligent and much more of an intellectual. And naturally, Mr. MGR was attracted towards her. And in her interview, she has said, after my mother died at the age of 47, she was only 23, MGR became everything to me.
You find how she has single-handedly, she has had no political pedigree, no one to help her. When her mother passed away when she was just 21, and MGR's closeness was also very uncertain because of his coterie pulling him away from her. And so it was such a difficult life she had. And she fought it through, you know, she fought every obstacle that came along, and then she won her way. That was something very amazing, and I felt it is this that made her so tough and so complex. She had this anger, with her anger at the male world maybe. That is why I think she was very happy when men fell at her feet.
Jayalalithaa was just 13 when she starred in her first film, which incidentally was a Kannada film, and was often seen carrying her books to the set, studying when off the camera. Her destination was clear in her mind. She wanted a law degree. But fate and the then Tamil superstar MGR had other plans. She first met M.G. Ramachandran on the sets, and the two had an instant connect. They made more than 20 films together. Jayalalithaa acknowledges MGR's role in mentoring her towards politics. MGR had split the DMK to become the state chief minister in 1977 and cajoled her to join his party, the AIADMK, as the propaganda secretary. Her swift rise and the patronage of a powerful mentor made her the envy of her party colleagues, who eventually created a rift between her and MGR.
That's a typical Tamil drama. I don't want to get into it. MGR was also had a very good public image, but his private reality was something that I never thought well of. I knew him well, I knew MGR well, but it's a very, I mean, I would say it was while she was with him, it was a demeaning relationship, and privately she resented it a lot. And once I asked her, why does she praise MGR so much if this is the type of person he was to you? She said, I have to do it for survival.
Her fall was as swift. On MGR's death, she was publicly humiliated when she attempted to climb the gun carriage which was carrying his body. She was literally pulled off by his wife, Janki's relatives, and had to leave under a police escort. Moreover, MGR's mantle was passed on to his wife, who became the state CM. But Jaya had her revenge in 1889 when she defeated the MGR faction headed by Janki and went on to become the face of the opposition to DMK's Karunanidhi.
When MGR died, she went to be with the body of the MGR, but she was not allowed inside. She waited outside for an hour, knocking the door with her fist for about an hour. Ultimately, she got entry. When she entered, she was not even given a seat. She was standing for 13 hours. Next day, when the funeral procession started, she wanted to climb up the gun carriage, and she was dragged down by one of the MLAs. And she says she was even hit by another person, a nephew of Janaki Ramachandran, who was actually the wife of Mr. M.G. Ramachandran. This, she says, hardened her attitude towards the people.
There too the theatrics continued, for during a budget session in March 1889, when she took on Karunanidhi on the floor of the assembly, his supporters manhandled her. A bitter Jayalalithaa swore that she would not set foot in the assembly till she defeated the DMK.
And clearly she is still holding the edge on her old rival Karunanidhi. Well, we wish her a very speedy recovery, but that's all from us now. Thank you for watching this show. We'll see you again same time next week.